What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Untitled Studios here, and welcome to the review of Cuphead. I said I was going to do this last weekend, but yeah, I kind of had some stuff going on, but we're going to be doing it now. So, first of all, let's get into the presentation, since it's probably one of the most important parts of the game. Well, it's important for any game. I mean, graphics really don't matter if the gameplay is great, but let me just tell you, the graphics in this game are just so good. Like what I'm about to show you on screen, I mean, like, this game, it just excels at doing this 1930s type of animation. And the reason for that is because Studio MDHR, the people who made this game, they actually hand drew every single frame of this game. So you can't really say too much bad stuff about this game. There are a few flaws, but in the animation department, presentation wise, it is impressive. I mean, look at this. Because all this was hand drawn. Somebody sat for 30 hours probably making all these animations. Not even a joke. So presentation is just right there. It honestly makes you feel like you're actually playing a cartoon. And besides Dragon's Lair, there really aren't that many games that make you really feel like that. Or at least me anyway. So presentation, it just wins. What about for the story? Well, the story is pretty easy to understand. Basically, the real story is that Cuphead and Mugman made a deal with the devil. If they won, that the devil would give them all his goods. But if Cuphead and Mugman lost, it'd be his souls. They lost, so now they gotta go and get all these contracts from Inkwell Isle to basically not die, essentially. There is more stuff in the story, but I'm not going to spoil too much, because even though you probably already seen it, but I'm not going to give any spoilers. I'm just going to leave it at that. Next, let's go into the gameplay of this game. Gameplay, perfect. I like the gameplay an awful lot. Personally, gameplay is one of the biggest things that really matters for me in a game, is that if it's fun and easy to use. And it's amazing, because basically, that's more for controls, but really you can run around and shoot. You can also use a special weapon once you have all of these cards filled up in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. These cards basically matter. If you fill up one card, you can use a special attack of the kind, right here. And you can also use something a lot more big, like you saw with that tornado thingy. And you can also use charms, which are basically ways to break the game, essentially. But yeah. Now the only way to get different guns and all that stuff, you have to complete the normal stages and get the coins from them, because see, originally this game was going to literally just be all bosses. I believe somewhere around 8 bosses or something like that. But they due to press, they ended up making it a lot bigger than they thought. And you wanna know what's my personal opinion? I honestly don't like the platforming stages as much as the boss fights. I feel like the boss fights are just more fun. I don't know. I just feel like with the platforming stages, I just do even worse at them. But hey, it's people's opinions, isn't it? And yeah. There are platforming stages, and that's really where you get the coins, so you can buy more of these weapon type of things. There are also coins that are scattered in the overworld, but those are really easy to find. There's a couple hidden. There's one hidden every world, and sometimes when you talk to an NPC, they might give you something. So talk to NPCs and see if they'll give you a coin. Sometimes it will if you like perform some kind of an achievement. But back to the gameplay, that's really all there is to even say. I mean, there really isn't that much to it other than that. So next, let's go over on controls. Now, controls can vary depending on how you play the game, because you can customize your controls for the game. It changes a little bit from the main like staged type of layout, and there's also the airplane levels as well. I forgot to mention those, and the controls are different. Basically, in normal mode, like for platforming stages and the normal boss fights, basically the control stick allows you to move around, the A button allows you to jump, the B button allows you to use a special, like use one of your cards or all your cards, the X button is to dash, and the RT button is to shoot, and the RB is to lock, and LB is to switch your weapons. Now, keep in mind that these are customized controls. I'm not entirely sure on how they are when they start up. I believe dashing might be with the Y button and shooting is with the X button. But you can always customize your controls to your liking if you're that type of person. And then for the airplane levels, it's kind of just more of a shoot 'em up. Basically, you can use the control stick to move around. A can be used to parry, because you can parry when you're in the air. In the X button, instead of dashing, you'll because instead of dashing, you'll actually shrink yourself, which can become helpful sometimes because of the fact that sometimes you want to get out of a situation really fast. And you can't really use your charms much in these stages either, unless you've got one of the heart options, or pea sugar, maybe pea sugar, I'm not sure on that one. Not entirely sure, but it's like, still. And that's really it for controls. But in general, controls are great for this game. They're really good. I'd highly just recommend just changing our controls. If you don't like the controls the game gives you at first, just change your controls, because it's really not that big of a deal. Next we're gonna be going over the difficulty on the game. Now that's what this game is notorious for. This game is hard. Like, it's not really, really hard. Like, some people have made it seem like this game is, like, almost impossible. But that's only if you, like, try to go all the way to, like, expert. But even then, the game is still fair. And that's what matters. If it's fair, I just like that. And also, if you die by a boss, it'll always show you how close you were to being done with that boss. So it does show you progression and yeah. Next is content. Now this game costs $20 from when I'm recording this. I'm not sure if they're gonna put the price up or anything like that, but currently the game is $20. If you're looking for a big game experience, you're not gonna really get something super big. You will get 19 bosses, I believe, included with the game. There isn't any DLC except for the soundtrack, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But there really isn't much content. There's 19 bosses and like roughly 6 platforming stages. There might be more stages, but there's roughly 6 stages from what I'm aware of. And when you beat the game, you really don't get something super substantial. All you can really do is just beat all the bosses on expert or do whatever. Now let's go into the last category, music. Another thing that this game does an amazing job at. The music of this game is absolutely amazing. It really fits in with the 1930s style. I don't really know how to really talk a lot about the music individually because there's so many good tracks like individually. It's not really gonna be an easy one trying to talk about all of them. So I'm just gonna say the music excels in this game. It's got that 1930s feel, and yeah. Now it's on to my final opinions of whether I think this game is worth buying, and it is a easy yes. I would recommend this game for anyone who's up for a challenge and likes shoot 'em ups, or anyone for just fun. I mean, this game will offer fun. Because there is a simple mode, but you will have to beat all the bosses on regular in order to actually get the true and to actually get to the final bosses of the game. But still though, it's a really fun game. I recommend, even if you're not good at games, give this game at least a try. Because the game can be fun. And I didn't even mention that you can play this game with a buddy, so there's that. But yeah, that's really all there is to say. Honestly, this game is perfect in many ways. I'd give this game a 9 out of 10. And that is pretty much it. Did you guys agree with my review? Let me know in the comments below. And also, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you guys want to see more reviews in the future. And yeah, that's it for this video. Peace out.